This is the Initiates Podcast. I am your host and guide, Natalie Grace. Join me for an enlightening exploration of spirituality, mysticism, and awakening. It's my honor to journey with you. Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to 2024. Thank you for joining me today, this month, this year. It's so nice to be present with you after such a long while. I've been on a kind of intermittent hiatus for the past year or so. I didn't know it at the time, but I was transiting through a lot. I was on a big journey and everything's changed for me. Well, not everything, but a lot of stuff, and everything came to a head in December and January of this year. And I'm excited to be recording this episode from a completely new space, a new house in a new town, and more on that in a future episode. There's lots to update you guys on. But what I wanted to share with you to kick the year off was some of my tarot work. It's not something that I'd shared much up to this point on the podcast, and I'm not really sure why, to be honest. It's such a big part of my life, an important part of my work, and probably one of my greatest teachers apart from nature. And it's something I want to share much more of here. I think perhaps I've been a bit reluctant because not everyone is into tarot, but tarot is more than just a deck of cards. It's more than an oracle. It is an incredibly powerful quantum tool for communicating with your higher self, with your guides, with your future and past self. There's so much to it, and I'm definitely going to expand on that, my way of using the tarot and how I see quantum tarot in the future. But for now, what I would love to share with you is a recording of a recent broadcast that I did on my Instagram over at Crystal Aura Tarot. I hosted a bit earlier this month the Tarot for the Collective 2024 energy forecast, and it's something that I love to do with my Instagram community. Dropping in live and pulling 4 cards for the collective, tuning into the collective energy field, both of the people in the live stream and anyone watching afterwards, after it's posted, the replay, but also the connective kind of web of energy that holds us all. And if you're listening to this, I'm connected to you through that web, and I'm also connected to everyone you're connected to with that web, and therefore it goes on and on and on. And I love tapping into this amazing web of energy. It's basically how I see the Akashic Records, which is something else that I love to do, and I tapped into before I started channeling this tarot reading. But the message was so empowering and so exciting, actually. There's some really important stuff that comes through in this broadcast that I really wanted to share. So apologies if you're listening to this and you were there live or watched the replay already. I invite you to listen again because you might receive some deepening of the energetic guidance that was received. And if you haven't, I hope that you enjoy. It's a very cool thing to be able to provide this kind of guidance. And just to explain, I work with the symbols of the cards very closely, more so than just generic card meanings. And I also work with my spirit team and the spirit team of all those in attendance and watching the replay later. And as I mentioned, tapping into the more quantum collective field of information, using my claircognizance to feel into the energy of what is to come this year, and also my channel. I'm an instrument, as we all are, but through my work I've been able to attune my instrument fairly precisely so that I'm able to, especially when reading tarot, bring through messages of higher guidance, of higher wisdom that helps to empower and uplift us so that we can navigate the energy of the present moment and even the past and what's to come with more ease, with more grace, with more harmony. And even if what's to come is challenging and there's lessons there for us, allowing us to understand that there's a purpose and to receive the message and to have a bit more grace when we're facing struggle, challenge, and even suffering. Before we get into it, I just want to say that if you enjoy my style of tarot reading, I am still offering personal tarot energy readings for the year ahead. I did begin advertising them as 2024, but we're already a month in now, so you can get one of those readings whenever you like. It doesn't matter which month you're listening to this in. I will have that offering on my website and in the show notes so that you can book in a year ahead reading with me, and it will be very similar in format to the reading that I'm sharing today, where I pull an archetypal card for you in this year that sums up your kind of journey and lessons, and then I tap into 4 energetic themes around your physical self, your spiritual self, your emotional self, and your mental self, to help you navigate what you're going to be journeying through in those 4 aspects of self. So it's a little bit different to how other people read, but that is something that when I started doing my live streams, it came to me immediately, and it's how I still love to read, even more than, normal kind of common or popular tarot spreads, traditional tarot spreads. I love using this particular spread because it kind of takes the predictions out of the picture, because predictions, I'm not really into them, because possibility is infinite and we have the power to change anything in any given moment. And for this reason, there's no point, the way I see it, in predicting the future, but there is a lot of empowerment to be gained by tapping into the energy of what is to come, what our future selves are feeling into right now, and giving us the wisdom about to help guide us so that we can get what we need to get out of the time that is to come. So if you'd like to book a reading with me, head on over to the show notes and there'll be a link there. Otherwise, check out crystalauratarot.com and go to my readings page and you'll be able to find the booking link there, and you can book in a reading with me. Thank you for joining me, and I am so excited to journey with you this year. I am thrilled to be able to set up a completely new dedicated space where I'll be recording my podcast, which was one of the barriers that I had to recording last year. So super excited to be sharing more with you in the weeks and months to come. Enjoy this reading, and now let's journey through the energy of 2024. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to 2024. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just getting my tarot deck warmed up. Oh, we have a good omen already. I needed to take a little bit of extra time before jumping on the live today. I'm not feeling so great. And normally I'd cancel the live stream and wait until I felt like high vibe and 100%. But I've been learning from one of my beautiful teachers recently that sometimes you need to show up even when you're not feeling 100%. So please, if you can send through some beautiful high vibes, healing energies to me, I know that I'm going to feel them anyway while we're all in this field together. But I decided to show up and push through because I think that is one of the huge, huge themes for this year for me and for all of you as well, that there's some hard work to be done. And we're up to the task, and sometimes we're going to actually need to push a bit harder than we've been used to pushing recently. I know I have been having a bit of a mantra of going gently in these past few years ever since the pandemic. It's really served me well. Thank you, Taku, thank you. Yeah, I was
completely burnt out after many years of really working hard. And I know a lot of us had that experience during COVID as well. So gently was my mantra, but it's not serving me anymore. And I'm getting huge signs for this year that it's going to be a really big, productive, active year of breakthroughs, if only we're willing to push ourselves. So I've been getting signs already ever since like the last week of December, right into the new year period. It's just been sign after sign after sign that good things are happening. So that's why I'm here. My gently mantra took me away from doing live streams and connecting with you guys on the fortnightly basis. As I was used to all through 2022. And I look back at my 2023 and I'm like, wow, I really wasn't that present online like I had been, but it's what I needed. But I'm so happy to be back. I definitely plan to make this a more regular occurrence like I was doing in 2022 with you guys, because I miss you all so much. Oh, that's cool, Claudia. Claudia and I share a teacher, actually, beautiful teacher, Jem, who's so good at showing up and pushing through. So I've really taken her lead here. I'm so happy to have you in the space, Claudia. I have been away for a while, so I'm not sure who's going to join us. But as always, I'm going to post the replay afterwards. So if you're not watching live, you're still in the field with us. I feel your energy, and so do the people in the chat here. And whenever you receive these messages, they are for you. So if you haven't sat with me in a collective read before, I am an intuitive tarot reader, an Akashic tarot reader. I receive channel guidance through the cards, and I work very closely with the symbols of the tarot. And I receive guidance for the collective, even more so than one-on-one. It's a really powerful practice to read for the collective, and I love it so much. And I really feel called to share the collective energy across my usual 4 channels, I guess. So I love when I do these readings to pull cards for the physical self, the emotional self, the mental self, and the spiritual self. So we're going to be pulling those 4 cards to get themes for this year. And those themes are going to anchor our guidance depending on what messages come through the tarot and which messages come through my channels. So I'm just warming up my tarot deck here. This is my tarot deck, Ruby, my business partner. She's here to work with us tonight and call through these messages. So I'd just like to, before we get started with the read, I'd love to check in with you guys who are here on the chat right now and just see how you're feeling, what your vibe is for the start of 2024. What have you left behind or allowed yourself to release or move through in order to come through this portal into the new year? I was so happy to see so many people celebrating the new year. I think there was a bit of a trend in the past few years to just be like, not into the consensus reality calendar. I only deal with like magical portal numbers that the internet tells me, and people have come back down to earth a little now. Consensus reality is so powerful. When we all believe something, it's just amplified so much. And we choose what energy we put into that consensus reality and what we receive from that consensus reality. So I actually like working with the calendar days, regardless of whether they're filled with magical angel numbers or not. There's some really powerful days to work with, and the new year is absolutely one of those. Lisa, let's let go of the old me, ready to make this my year. Yes. I'm feeling that too, my love. I really am. There's a lot of disempowered energy I chose to leave behind from last year. Definitely there's hang-ups in the collective about that when we were so disempowered for so long, kept kind of trapped, isolated, our usual freedoms detached or removed from us. And I think we're feeling a bit more empowered now, which is amazing on a collective level. We're not having to second guess what we do. We're able to just act on our passion, on our intuition, rather than having to police ourselves, which is amazing, super empowering just as it is. It's so nice to be transiting to a more normal kind of time. But on a personal level for each and every one of us as well, I think if we've been doing the work, I mentioned this in the post advertising this live stream, if we have been doing the shadow work, which many of us have over the past 4 or 5 years now, we're actually really ready to step into our power. We've been holding a lot of space for ourselves and others to do really hard healing, facing really hard truths. And so much good work has been done, hard work. But if you're someone who has been dealing with that and not running away, not avoiding, actually processing, feeling, facing, being with those emotions, being with those shadows, being with those like really challenging, hard, oppressive times where we have had to move through a victim role, whether it's something that the world is projecting onto us or something that's happening deeply personal within us. And I think both are the same. What the outside world is mirroring to us is an invitation to do the work within. It's been really hard, but if we've been brave enough to do that, there's huge breakthroughs that are arriving this year. I feel like really a lot of energy surging through me now, which is amazing. Just reflecting on that. Taku, same, really catching myself talking negatively to myself. That's really good that you're noticing that, because that inner dialogue is so powerful. When we speak, whether it's in our thoughts or with our voice, that's spell work we're doing. We have to be really careful we're not cursing ourselves or other people through our thoughts and through our words. And obviously our words carry like a frequency of vibration too. So if those are negative, if those are judgmental, that it's not just the words we're speaking and how we compute those words and how they feel within us. It's actually holding that energy, holding that frequency. So to be able to be aware of that is a very powerful thing. There's been a lot of talk of power words as well for 2024. I'm hoping a power word really stands out as we go through this reading tonight. But does anyone want to share any themes that have come through already for them for 2024? And if you're watching this in the replay, make sure you pop some comments in to let us know as well, because that would be really awesome. I've been reflecting on this myself, like for my own personal journey for this year, and there's a couple of words. Productivity is one, but not for the sake of being productive, for actually producing stuff that's valuable and aligned with my path of service. And passion. I think I've been so focused on being balanced in this Zen kind of way for quite a while now, in order to rise above all the manic, chaotic, polarized kind of stuff in the field, that I've lost a lot of passion. And so passion is something I really want to cultivate for this year, and it's going to be a huge focus for me. So if you guys have any themes that you'd like to share, that would be awesome. When I first started shuffling, I had a card just fly right out, and I saved it, of course. And I think this might be a theme for this year. It is the 10 of Cups. Could you pick a better card that you'd want as a beautiful omen for your new year? This is such a wonderful card. The 10 of Cups is all about, yes, rainbows mean happy endings, and rainbow is my kind of totem, one of my power symbols, I guess you'd say, or my spirit symbols. That's probably a better way of describing it. I work very closely with the symbol of the rainbow and the colors and the energy of the rainbow. So this speaks very deeply to me. But it's happy endings is one part, but it's all about the feeling of what happens when you push through that challenge, when you push through the fear portal, when you're willing to go on the full journey from ACE, from 0 all the way to 10. You guys might not be familiar with my cat Bread, but he loves throwing things around. Bready, come here, boy. Come on. I might have to grab him in a second. You don't get to have this beautiful moment in the present moment, because this is the other thing. It's being the present moment where you actually have that moment of reflection, or that moment of pause, or that moment of presence when you can look up to the sky and actually notice the rainbow. The rainbow is there for us. I've asked my Akashic Records what the symbol of the rainbow means, and it's all about the universe showing us what magic is, that magic actually exists. The magic is real, and it's a magical reminder for us, and we create our magic, but we're also here to receive magic, experience magic in the world, which is just, super beautiful. Yeah. So it's really, this is about cherishing the magic of our reality and the reality we create, actually enjoying and receiving blessings, allowing ourselves to receive blessings and not just receive them, but like relish in what it feels like to be blessed. Really, really like feel that within us. So I want to say that the word that's coming through for this year from this card for me right now is blessings. We're going to be blessed this year. I'm so happy that that's what this is, because that's how I felt as soon as the year shifted. I was like, I already feel blessed, but blessings are here for us to receive. They're not just coming, because that's a bit like lazy. Like, we actually have to allow ourselves to take the opportunity, to realize the opportunity, to see the opportunity of a blessing and actually choose to experience it, choose to receive it, open ourselves to receive it, and then really experience it. Okay. Give me 1 second and then we're going to start reading some cards. Hey, Zach, can you quarantine bread? Okay. So let's get into the field. Physical wants to be the first card that comes out for this year. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to start with 4 cards, and there might be a few other themes that want to come through after that. And we're going to do this together, but basically what we're going to see is a theme, an energetic theme that is either going to be an archetype or a challenge or an undercurrent of energy that we're going to be working with in a really big way this year. So the first one is physical, and I'm going to see if this is about our world, if this is about our bodies and our health. What's this going to be? So let's all focus our energy into this deck. Physical. What is the medicine for our physical selves for 2024 for this year? Show me the guidance. Okay. It's a pretty clear division there. Ooh, strength. We are building strength this year. And from a physical perspective, that seems pretty like obvious, that it's all about building strength in our bodies, becoming stronger in our physicality. But you know what? I'm really receiving some stuff now. This is more than that. This is about strength in our ability to intuit for ourselves what we need on a physical level, actually advocate for our own health and well-being, having this real... I love working with this card so much because it's got so many power symbols for me. It's got the maiden and the lion. The lion is like a really powerful animal ally we have, who walks us through portals of transformation. Lions guard the temple gates. Lions are incredibly powerful beings, and they are brave and courageous. They hold a lot of power through their presence. There's animals that are larger than them, animals as dangerous as them, but their presence, their power, is what means that they're the kings of the jungle. They command respect in that way. And it's a very unassuming maiden here that is able to overcome. She's overcome the lion. She's able to tame the lion. It's unexpected. We wouldn't expect that. She's not overcoming the lion or overpowering the lion with brute force. It's not about that. It's not actually about the physical strength. She's not jacked and knows how to fight a lion. No, that's not what this is. She's got this beautiful quantum symbol of the lemniscate, the figure 8 that sits above her head. She is a completely open channel. She is intuiting what she needs to do in order to meet the lion at his frequency. They are of the same, they're an energetic match, okay? They are vibing. And this is why she understands what the lion needs in order for the lion to trust her. So this strength that we're building, we can see these challenges that I talked about, the really hard times, the shadow work we've been doing. This is represented by the mountains far in the background. So she's done that work. She's faced those challenges. And through that, she's been able to cultivate deep self-belief, deep courage, really dignified strength. It's not showy strength. She doesn't have to win any like arm wrestling matches in order to prove her strength. She demonstrates her strength by how she carries herself in the world, how she advocates for herself, and how she knows when and how to exert her power. So this beautiful symbol of strength is not just about building physical strength in our bodies, but I want to say it's about having the patience to create long-term strength, long-term resilience in our physical bodies, but it's also about patience with how we treat ourselves. This is lifelong change we're creating this year. This isn't we're going on a diet and doing CrossFit and we're going to be jacked in like 3 months because we're doing some fitness challenge. No, this is about being brave enough and cultivating through this year the self-belief to be able to make long-term change that builds strength in our whole physical selves and reflects itself out in our physical reality, in everyone we interact with, which is also about building up our physical strength in our body. And this isn't just muscles. This is bone strength. This is strength of the blood and its ability to carry oxygen to our organs and all our tissues. It is about having like strong hair, strong nails. There's so much to this. Stronger eyesight. It's the long-term game, and like almost having these like downloads or drops that tell us what our body needs. We're going to actually be in communication with our bodies this year. We're not going to be seeking outside guidance. We're not going to, or as much. We're going to actually be like consulting ourselves before we go out to the expert. And ourselves, our higher selves, are going to tell us what kind of expert we need. The GP is not going to have, I don't want to say the same power. There's so much strength in us actually being able to like talk to our own bodies and understand what our body is telling us. If you guys haven't practiced this before, I really encourage you to do this. If you're not feeling quite well, literally ask yourself, what's wrong? Body, tell me what's actually happening with me right now. What do I need? If you do that enough times, you'll actually immediately get the answer. You need more magnesium, or you need to walk outside right now, or you need a salt bath or something. You need more sleep. You'll actually get the answers. And this is the strength we're looking at. You don't get this strength through outsourcing. So our physical body is actually needing us from us this year. There's no one else here showing the maiden how to meet the lion at his own energy level. This is all her own work. And it's been a journey to get here, but we're ready now. We're up to the task. We are intelligent enough. And when I say that, not so much head smarts, but we have been like calibrating ourselves energetically, opening ourselves up to so much possibility from a spiritual perspective, from an emotional perspective. And also all the shadow work that we've done has actually created more strength in us to trust ourselves too. So we might have had a hunch previously about what our bodies needed when we've been sick, or when we feel like we need to take some action to like make ourselves stronger. We might have doubted ourselves before and still gone and sought that extra opinion, or said, no, I don't actually know what I need. I'm going to go and ask someone else what I need. Now our own inner voice is actually more powerful and has more authority. If we can trust it, we become stronger. This is super cool. Let me just see if there's anything else here that wants to speak. Yeah, the other symbols I'm seeing here are the garlands around her head and her waist, and it's this natural kind of olive leaf garland, which is a garland is a symbol of achievement and of rank. Like, you know, the Olympians, they become the best at something and they get this like gold medal, but back in the day it was like an olive garland, right? You're going to become so good at this that you're the best at knowing what you need. Then you're better than anyone else. They can't know what you need better than you. Seeing if there's anything else speaking to me here. Yeah, the other thing is this takes a lot of courage. So in the times that we are challenged, when we are advocating for ourselves or we're thinking about it and outside forces are challenging us. So this might be an authority figure. This might be people in our family or our friends who are like, oh, come on, you think you know better than the doctor or something like that. It actually takes courage to back yourself. It takes courage to listen to yourself. It takes courage to rate yourself, and your opinion as important or as high or as informed or as useful as an expert. And so that's also what this line represents to me. That's like sometimes we're going to be almost facing like the ferocity of like a lion. It's going to be scary, but instead of succumbing to fear or feeling like we have to fight fear with like insane, big, roaring anger or that kind of power, exerting that kind of power, it's actually like meeting the fear frequency with the self-belief frequency, the passion frequency, the love for oneself frequency, the trust frequency, to actually become equal. And then even, I want to say equal. Yeah. Now, I just want to be clear here. This is not like medical guidance. This is an energetic theme for this year. This doesn't mean I don't think we should go to the doctors when we're sick. I think the doctors have such incredible diagnostic tools and really help us understand better what's going on in our bodies. But they don't always, one thing that I've intuited over the past few years is that the health system is failing. It's not what it was. It doesn't have, there's so many of us, no matter which country you're in watching this, there's so many people now and so little resources. They can't provide the care they once did. And this is just a fact, right? This isn't even a political opinion. Having witnessed some family members have to go through that system recently with traumatic injuries, and the trauma care is still really good in our hospitals. But the actual emotional support, the emotional care, the mental support, there's just no capacity for that. And it's such a huge part of our healing. So we also have to take responsibility for that bit. That's part of this strength as well. So by all means, I'm not, you should go and seek the help of experts when you're feeling unwell and you want to know more about what's going on in your body. I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm saying that it's now the time that we have to actually speak up for ourselves and ask ourselves what we need. Okay. Just take a breath, have a bit of tea. I've got some lovely Damiana tea here. Any feelings, any thoughts, any feedback on the first card for physicality, strength? I'm actually having another piece of information here about our physical world too, that there's a lot of strength that can be built in nature. This beautiful maiden isn't in some zoo, in some sterile environment, in some concrete cage learning how to tame the lion. She's actually out in the lion's domain. She's in nature. And so we're so used to going to the gym or to going to a fitness studio or wherever it might be to actually build our physical strength. But there's so much physical strength we can build just by being in nature, doing natural things that our body has been built to do. So if you are feeling uninspired about building strength in your body, that is something that can be really powerful this year, that you will get incredible reward, not just long term with the strength you can build, but also in the present moment when you're outside in nature. This could be gardening, this could be hiking, this could be swimming at the beach or walking on the sand, this could be riding a bike. And it doesn't have to be up mountains. It can be exploring your neighborhood, or taking your bike on a train to go to a different suburb just to see something different and smell, breathe in different air. Be out in nature this year to build your strength and be creative and follow your intuition. It could be that movement is very flowy for you. Or it could be that all of a sudden you're wanting to throw things and catch things. It could be that you are wanting to get more comfortable with cold water, whatever it might be. Follow your intuition, but follow your intuition outside, because that will be very powerful for you. Okay, I think that's it. If anything else comes to me, I'll come back to it. But there's lots of 8s in that card. There is that 8 that the card is numbered, and there's also that figure 8. So the 8s here, that symbol is incredibly powerful. It's the quantum field. So whatever we do with this energy of strength in our physical realities, our physical bodies, our health, it's going to have insane transformation power or transformational power. This is quantum work we're doing. It's extremely powerful. Okay, I'm going to take a breath and I'm going to go back to shuffling. So if anyone has any feelings or thoughts about those messages, drop me a comment. I would love to know. One of my favorite cards, the Strength card. I'm happy to see it so early in this reading. Emotions wants to come next. This is going to be interesting. Emotions for the whole year. Normally these readings are what I do either like every fortnight with the moon cycle, or I moved to monthly with this change in sun signs last year. So to pull these energetic theme cards for a whole year is really cool and interesting. And the reason I don't just pull a card for every month, it's a lot to remember and to kind of compute. I think it's much more powerful to be pulling these energetic theme cards and only having 4 and perhaps a couple of bonuses if they want to come through versus 12. A lot of people do it that way and that's cool, but I didn't feel called to do it that way. And the other thing is this isn't about predicting what happens every month. It's not about that. It is about understanding the energetic themes that are coming, that are here to work with us, almost like in a karmic way, that they're arriving this year for us to work with so that we can grow and evolve and transform. And they don't just stop when the month stops on the calendar. These things are going to be ebbing and flowing throughout the year. And they might move through fast depending on how quickly you are able to work with the lesson and receive the lesson. Okay, emotions. What is the guidance for our emotional selves? Show me the energy. The energetic guidance for our emotional selves. Okay. It's the sun reversed. So let's lean into this card. I'm just going to kind of receive it upright and then I'll read into the reversal, why it's shown up reversed. Yeah, okay, so this is pretty clear here. The sun is such a powerful force in our lives because it provides our life force energy and it symbolizes our life force energy, or the power to facilitate growth, the power to light oneself up, the power to feel warm, vital, and the masculine kind of force of action starts with this like beautiful sun energy. And this card's lovely because you've got such beautiful symbols in this card, the sunflowers and all these wonderful sun rays and this baby, this spirited little baby, this like symbol of potential for growth. These sunflowers that follow the sun, because this is us, this is what we need to do. Now, there's going to be challenges that affect our ability to feel vital, to feel warmth, the support of warmth. It's as if, either we're scared to receive it, or if you can imagine the sun going away for a little while, like how we feel in the wintertime, for instance, or I don't feel like it's a shocking like eclipse kind of thing that, you know, if the sun goes away during an eclipse and you don't know what that is, it could be an extremely big shock. Like, where the hell did the sun go? It's the middle of the day. It's not like that. This is more like the sun's here. We're just having a block. Something's blocking us from receiving its power, receiving its support, receiving its love. So we're gonna have blocks with our life force energy. I really keep coming back to the word vitality here. We're going to be challenged in our emotional vitality. What's that? Our ability to kind of like feel strong enough to rise above, our emotional resilience, emotional growth as well. And what I find beautiful when cards show up reversed, it's not that they're not within the field. This card wouldn't show up if we weren't here to receive the sun in its highest accord this year. We're here to do that. It's just we're actually being challenged to cultivate that for ourselves. It's not going to be as easy as the strength that's upright, that's telling us, okay, you've done all the work. Now all you need to do is just have that self-belief, have that self-trust. This is a little bit different. And so there's an ability to take action here as well. What this is stopping us from is taking action, because the sun is a very powerful masculine force that makes things grow. So the beautiful nurturing support that happens within the earth with the beautiful water, the soil, the rain, the seed, you've got all these things happening that requires the sun's amazing life force energy in order to actually sprout and grow and go through that growth and death cycle, but especially the growth cycle. That's an active force. That's a very powerful active force. We're going to be challenged to use this active force, but if we do, it's going to be incredibly powerful and amazing emotionally. We're going to feel so much warmth. We're going to feel so much support. There's not many things in life that makes you feel more supported and loved from kind of like the outside in than the sun. It's so beautiful on a warm day, especially, say coming out of a winter period when there's been darkness and it's been cold and you feel those first rays of the sun rejuvenating you, lighting you up. I really feel loved when I feel those sun rays. And that is the love of our father sun, lighting us up, lighting our world up, allowing us to see like reality for what it is rather than always existing in the shadow. So yeah, we are challenged now to like be the baby in its full potential, this fresh new little life who's just all about joy and like being loved, feeling love, receiving love, and then just radiating love outward as well. That's kind of us where we're at. So emotionally, this can feel kind of vulnerable. That might be speaking to why this card's coming through reversed, that there's going to be a lot of vulnerability that we have to like learn to be okay with in order to actually feel, receive what we need to grow. Like emotional growth is obviously a huge theme for this card. What is stunting our emotional growth? This is our challenge to shine light, to shine like bright light, a spotlight on that and give it warmth and give it love so that it can sprout, so it can bloom. What are we doing in our lives to stop ourselves, to stunt ourselves? Where are we getting in our own way emotionally? What are we not allowing the light to see? There might be shadows that we're holding on to, there might be like chapters or journeys that we know are coming, they're inevitable, that we need to do, but we're just feeling like we don't have the energy to actually support what it takes to go through that emotional growth spurt, because it can be so taxing. What happens when you go through like really big emotional growth periods, it can actually leave you feeling really burnt out. And I think that's why this card had come before, because it's actually really important for us to build our more physical strength and to feel vital from a physical perspective so that we're up to the challenge of doing that final stage of the shadow work where we're allowing the light to actually see what has been uncovered in the darkness, in the shadow, and light it up and give it warmth and allow it to be seen so that we can grow and move on to our next emotional kind of challenge. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of this year, and this is going to be a collective theme that perhaps we're not going to want to face things that are being illuminated for us by the sun. We can't look away. It's so bright. It's there. That if only we'll allow ourselves to deal with them, we will be able to grow collectively. We'll be able to kind of like elevate our emotional maturity. So collectively, this could be a big theme, but also personally, with whatever is happening in the world outside us, it's going to be adding some extra challenge to us being able to like push ourselves through that emotional growth portal. So yeah, I think the main thing here is that when this stuff starts happening this year, to remember that we're just like precious little babies, that's who we are in this world. Like we're not born experts. We go through our whole lives learning our lessons, and it's not easy, but that's what we're here to do. And to treat ourselves like precious little babies, treat ourselves like our like inner children. This is the spirit of our inner child, and that's what we actually want to free. We want to free this little child within us so that he or she can just give so much love, illuminate, radiate so much love out into the world, to touch all those around him or her with your beautiful like beams of light, to illuminate, light up others, like warm their hearts, but we also have to be okay to receive that too. Yeah, and then the other thing that's calling out to me, so the baby was really strong, and then the sunflowers, follow the sun. If you lose your way, if things get hard emotionally, go outside and like work with the energy of the sun. So drink solar water, take your glass of water out and put it in the sun and drink that. That's going to give you some extra vitality. You're going to receive the beautiful love from our Father Sun, and it's going to activate you from within, kind of work with your more masculine life force energy, allow you to feel more confident in taking action that might be difficult or challenging or scary, to push yourself emotionally through that portal. So follow the sun. So work with the sun. Don't be afraid of the sun either. We want to be responsible with how we receive the light of the sun. Too much sun can hurt us, but we definitely don't get enough of it. So whether that's sunlight on our skin or even in our eyes, we wear sunglasses all the time. This isn't always very good for us. We do need to receive some light through our eyes because it's very healing for our bodies. Work with the sun. Plant some sunflowers. That's a great thing to do. Okay, mentals next. Any feedback, any reflections, pop them in the comments. Yeah, I'm just looking at the sun card, trying to find like a word theme, because there was a lot to that message that I'm like trying to find the one word. But I want to say seek. It's seeking the sun, seeking warmth, seeking illumination. Don't hide from it. Don't shy away from it. Don't protect yourself too much, because you're missing out from some of the magic of the sun, some of the sun's gifts for us, blessings. So seek illumination, actively seek it, actively receive it, and allow yourself to feel that warmth. Okay. Oh, this card wants to be seen. I said mental, so here it is. Okay. Oh, this is really interesting. Wow, it's so far all major arcana cards. So we're finding here that this isn't just inner journeys we're going through. These are collective journeys. These are karmic collective journeys. We are destined to receive these lessons at this time. And that's why we're here. This is like part of the message here. Taku Cooper. So far, I've resonated with what you've said. Getting out of the shadow self instead of hiding behind it. I still shy away from fully expressing myself, but getting more courage. Thank you. Yeah, actually, that's a really big part of the Sun to expression. Absolutely. Because it takes courage, and it's that outward giving of oneself, of your pure spirit, of your authenticity, what you're here to share with the world. It's part of why you're here. So that expression is really important. And again, like when we're feeling challenged by these big things, like it's so hard to express authentically and be brave enough to do that, connecting back in with that symbol of the baby is really important, because babies aren't afraid to express themselves, even though they're not understood until they're a little bit bigger. That doesn't stop them from expressing. Expression's really important, and to be able to just allow ourselves to freely express. It's hard to do as an adult, but it's so worthwhile. So yeah, cultivating that courage will be really good for you. Yeah, so mental, Wheel of Fortune. There's so much that goes on in this card. This is really cool. I'm again coming back to this blessing kind of message, and this is the world, that the universe is conspiring right now to create all of these themes for us in the outside world to help us on our personal journeys, our spiritual journeys, our evolutions here, our soul evolutions. So that's why we're seeing so much major arcana. There's going to be stuff that happens this year in the world that is, it's obviously happening on a collective level, but it's programmed that way to facilitate opportunities for our own growth and transformation on a soul level, on a spiritual level. And that's so much what the Wheel of Fortune is about. Yes, it's about like the wheel of karma and karmic challenges and all that kind of thing, and the wheel of time ticking away, but it's also about opportunities. Every second that we're alive here on earth, we are presented with opportunities to transform our future. Every moment we have a choice that we can make, and that has the power to completely transform the path we're on. Even the smallest choices we make can change the trajectory of our lives. And this is the Wheel of Fortune. This is here. And I'm really seeing more than the wheel. Sometimes it's a wheel that shows up really strongly when I pick this card, and it is about our ability to choose our opportunities, what's good for us, to be open to opportunity. And this card was upright, so we're not going to be blocked from opportunity this year. There's going to be opportunities arriving for us, and we have to be alert to them and have that awareness and open to being able to like take on an opportunity. But more so than that, these are blessings. This is absolutely guided. What's happening right now, all our guides orchestrating this. So you can see the 4 tetramorphs in the corners of this card. They're powerful spirit guides, angels, animal allies, archetypal forces of the zodiac. Are all with these books. That's our Akashic Records. They're there in our records helping us create our highest path of destiny, like align with it and learn our lessons so that we can actually fulfill our missions here, our soul missions. That's what's happening here. So the opportunities that arrive this year are incredibly powerful transformation portals. And mentally, I'm trying to like put the puzzle pieces together about why this is mental for us. These can obviously be intellectual opportunities to evolve how we think about the world, how we understand the world, how we interpret like meaning of why we're here, all these things, how we communicate that with others. But let me just sit with this a little bit longer. Wow. This says more to me than that. This is for me, like, there's going to be new, like, mental powers being activated in the collective this year. We're going to see big shifts in actually how we think. If we allow ourselves to, you're going to have powers awakened in your mental, like, capacity that seem a bit, like, way out to talk about now. But if you're not someone who has been activated with receiving downloads, or we all receive them. Sometimes our minds are just so busy that we're not attuned to what's actually coming through, or we lack that trust and self-belief to know that's actually what's happening. That's going to start for so many people collectively this year. So if there's things that you feel like you're missing out on, like intellectually, when you're like, the spiritual journey is this or that, or, you know, when we come here on our soul mission, we're supposed to do these things and I'm not doing it right. Like all these like mental programs that get in the way. It doesn't actually matter. None of that matters, because like we're guided. Our guides are here, like helping us along the way, and they're going to be dropping in guidance for us to receive. This is also our higher selves. It's not just about all our like angels and animal allies and our ancestors sending us messages, although that's going to be happening and we might be seeing them, we might be hearing them, we might be receiving them telepathically. Whatever it might be, whatever like clear senses you have, there's like a huge portal that opens this year that activates our mental capacities in a new way, or in a more evolved way. And it's obviously not new because we all have access to this, but we've been blocked, we've been shut off. It's like this wheel stopped turning for a while in our like, you know, timeline of evolution. We've kind of become arrested or gone backwards in some way, and all of a sudden what I'm getting is that the wheel's going to start turning again. So like mental capacity, or like our intellect, or it's going to become more philosophical. It's going to become more like individual. It's not just about like our brains, and our like mental energy field isn't about what it can be used for work. It's not just about that. It's not just about like doing one course of study and a degree and getting this piece of paper so that you can work in this job. Things are changing now. We're going to also see on a personal level that whatever we've done up to this point, it wasn't a waste, but it actually, there's so much more we can do. So much more our minds can do. And that we've been keeping ourselves small. We've actually been limiting ourselves by thinking, oh, in order to do this, you need a piece of paper that says you're qualified, or I'm not capable of having any kind of psychic information that comes through me, because, you know, I haven't learned that. I haven't done the right course with the right teacher. Do that stuff, because that's activating. But you also have to have the belief that you're capable, that it's possible, that you already can do it. It's just, you know, activating that within you, that you actually, like, I remember, this is the other thing that's going to happen this year, that there's going to be events that occur that reawaken forgotten memories. There's so much that we hold, not just in our brains, like, we have more than one brain. We have a brain in our gut. I think that's pretty well regarded. There's so much intelligence that exists in our whole bodies, and the mental energy field doesn't sit here. It sits all around us. You know, it's all encompassing, because our bodies, our beings are so intelligent on so many levels. So it's actually unlocking things beyond the brain. When we're talking about mental like capability, mental capacity, that's something that's going to be happening for all of us this year, and it's going to be happening in completely unique ways. But as a collective, it's going to add up to a really big change in how we think, in how we interpret, in how we communicate, in how we see the world, because all of a sudden we're going to start understanding things on a new level. It was such a simplistic way that we've understood everything about why we're here, and it's going to start evolving. And there's going to be things that happen in the outside world that kick this off. I'm not into like predicting what that might be. That's not how I work, but I can feel it in the field that there's going to be big advancements for us all in our mental energy fields. Okay, let me know any feedback with that card. Yeah, guidance and blessing here too. All our guides are with us, like helping align ourselves. So look out for messages as well. They're going to come through as like downloads or whatever you want to call it, channeled guidance, wisdom drops, insight, divine inspiration. There's lots of ways to describe that kind of information. It can also be felt within the deepest part of us intuitively. It doesn't always have to come like through this upper channel. It can be felt in the heart. It can be felt in the gut. Wisdom, intelligence, you know, can be felt in these areas. Yeah. It's an evolution. That's what's happening. An evolution, a big growth spurt in our mental capability. And I want to say it will be profound, but it's probably going to feel quite subtle. Yeah. So the theme for that Wheel of Fortune card for mental is, I want to say, like advancement. There's going to be advancement. I'm just going to write these down. I forgot to write my keywords down. So while I'm doing that, if anyone has anything they want to add to the chat, let me know. Okay. One more card to go. And then if anyone watching has a question they'd like to ask, I am here to answer any questions. And I don't want it to be about predictions, about anything in particular. I want it to be about energy themes. So I'm not going to tell you specific events. I want to work with energetic themes for this year that helps you navigate this year to your highest potential. Okay, the last one is spiritual. Ooh, we've been on a bit of a journey here, so I'm interested to see what the spiritual lessons for this year are going to look like. So show me. Oh, this one jumped out. This is a very strong message here. It is the Ten of Swords. So we have an appearance from our first minor arcana card, and it's a very, very intense one. This is a difficult card, but there's a lot of promise in this card because it's a 10, which means it's at the end of a journey. It's the closing of a chapter and the beginning of a new chapter. And the Swords is all about the mental realm again. So from a spiritual perspective, this is speaking a lot to our own thought programs, our own self-belief systems or belief systems, but especially like how we feel about ourselves, think about ourselves, treat ourselves, and how that affects our spirit, how that affects our own spirit, our inner flame, you know. Let me meditate with this card for a little bit. I just see a whole lot of letting go here. Like there's going to be a huge spiritual lesson, unlocking of like a spiritual key for us all if we are able to. And it looks like we will. There's not much challenge here because we're all so ready to let this shit go. This is all about the stuff that literally weighs us down. What is weighing down your spirit? Almost like the weight of 10 swords, right? What is it that you're carrying that's holding you back from like realizing your pure full potential? What is it that is holding you back from like feeling like light and free in your own, like in your own body, in your own mind, and your own emotions? It's like covers all the full spectrum here. When we see the 10, like the Swords is a difficult journey in the minor arcana. For me, it's like the earliest, like it's the very first journey of maturity we go through, where it's all about how we think, how we perceive, how we problem solve, how we communicate with ourselves and also with others, with the world, with the community in general. And I think we're just like I'm seeing these swords actually like a grid, like a mesh. I see the mesh as like the matrix, like the consensus reality, what's projected onto us about how we're supposed to think, what we're supposed to do. We've been carrying so much of that for so long. And from a spiritual perspective, that can even be about how the journey is supposed to feel for us, what we're supposed to be doing. I see a lot of people feeling pressured to like become coaches and teachers and healers, because once you become spiritually activated or you realize your spirituality, that seems to be what everyone does. And I've gone on this journey myself, right? That's the next step. And it's not always. Sometimes the spiritual journey is not a business. It's not turning that into some kind of service you provide. It's actually living your life, living your truth, living your journey. There could be so much here that we have to let go of. And it's really, there's no way around it. Things are ending this year. The way, yeah, I reflected on the beginning of the call, but I think a lot of the kind of like heaviness, the weight we've been carrying since the pandemic is finally ready to be shed. I think that's part of it. A lot of the thinking, the paranoia, the suspicion, the distrust of others, we're so ready to let that go. That wasn't our true nature, to be so distrusting of ourselves or others, to be so judgmental. Like, this is not how we're supposed to be. This is not how we're supposed to like, we're about interaction, community, love, sharing, as humans, being creative, collaborating, solving problems together, being in like spirit with one another, sharing that. So, if you've been like isolated and you've felt the weight of that, it's finally time to let that go. And there's going to be lots of opportunities here showing up for us that can actually help you shed the weight of those swords. Because we had been trained through that like very traumatic event to believe that the world was unsafe, to believe that there was danger lurking, to believe that some parts of the community, whichever side you're on, the opposite can't be trusted and they're stupid and we don't associate with those people. It's not our true nature. It's time to let that go. So even if you haven't been so affected by that kind of thinking, there can be other kind of remnants of that energy from the collective that you've been carrying that you haven't even opted into, that you haven't even wanted. This communal shedding that we all have to do on our own like personal level is going to be healing. It's going to be so healing for the collective. This is such a healing card because it's an acceptance that the past is finished and complete and we're ready to move on, to clear the slate. I see a lot of this as like the heaviness, the weight, the density that we carry with all these programmed thoughts that we have, whether we've created the programs, whether we've inherited them through our like genetic lines, our ancestral lines, or our past lives, or even our earlier lives as children, whether we've received them from others, our family, our teachers, whatever it might be, or like society, like projecting those onto us and creating this like very heavy burden we've had to carry where it's not our nature, but we've had to do things a certain way. There's so much to this, but like whatever it might be, this is almost like a war is ending, and it's not the wars that we're seeing playing out in the physical. This is the spiritual war. This chapter of the spiritual war is coming to a close, and it's safe now to allow yourself to accept that reality is complete, and we are in a new reality now. We haven't gone back to how things were, but things are different now, and it's okay. It's safe to let this go, and it's okay to mourn what we've lost too. Something that's really challenged me is how little integration has occurred since like that whole event, that crazy, intense, life-changing global event. There's been so little reflection on a collective level around the impacts of it. We've all been carrying this privately. We've been carrying this alone. which is even harder given we were also isolated for so long. So especially if you're like in Australia, for instance, where it's very difficult in so many places here, but wherever it is you're watching from, it's like this heavy energy has been stuck to us and we haven't felt like it was the right time, that it was safe to release it, but now we can. So this is a huge like spiritual clearing, cleansing. There's going to be a very big cleansing of density. But one thing that has to happen in this card before we get back to the ace, where it's pure potential again, and it's a gift from God, a gift from the heavens coming to us, we actually have to do a bit of cleanup here. So part of our journey, the spiritual journey this year, is, yes, the first step is accepting. We see all these 10 swords in this man's back. We see the blood. We know he's gone. It's done. There's nothing we can do to change that. We can't go back. We can't go back and change anything. We have to accept the reality of the present moment here. So we actually do have to accept like the impacts of what's happened, and that things are changed and they're not going to go back to the way they were. There is an impact, but at the same time, at some point you accept it and you're like, okay, it's time now to take those swords out, to like return this beautiful soul to the earth, his body to the earth, to close this cycle. There's a cleansing that happens this year now that we're all each individually responsible for. It's a spiritual cleansing. It's very powerful. And it's destined to happen now. Like it's for now. This healing is for this time. This cleansing is for this time. And the people, if you're on the spiritual path and this is resonating with you, if you do this work, this is going to be so healing for the collective. Every single person, this is a minor card, so it's about us and our inner journey, our own work. Every single person that does this work is going to be doing such a huge service to the collective. It's such important work because the collective has been, I want to say, silenced. For some reason, we don't feel comfortable to talk about what happened. We're not talking about the impact it's had on children or our mental health or emotional health or physical health. Oh my goodness, the physical health. We're not talking about it. It's crazy. It's time to be brave and listen to our intuition, right? And do this cleaning up work now. Taking the collective part out of it. So that's a really obvious one that I feel very called to share about the post-pandemic kind of cleanup that happens now. And reckoning's a very strong word. It's not quite a reckoning. It sort of is. Somewhere between acceptance and reckoning is a word that describes what we're doing this year with that collective experience. But on the personal as well, there's certain things that have kept us heavy, that have kept us from taking that next big like leap on our own activation, on our own journey. This card here, from the mental perspective, we're going to be challenged to actually like take those next steps in our own evolution. But for this spiritual card, this 10 of Swords, we also have to be thinking about what is it that we can clean up in our own personal experience, in our own lineage, in our own like what we're carrying in our own spirits. It's time to do some cleaning up here. That takes strength, that takes the sun, that also takes Wheel of Fortune. There's opportunities to arrive where we're like, okay, now's the time, let's do it, let's clean this up. So there's a bit more shadow work to be done. It is dark, but it's a different kind of shadow work. It's not the depths of feeling, the depths of fear, facing the fear, illuminating the darkness that we've been doing. That bit's done, and now it's this like the integration part is the cleaning up, the healing, the realizing, the reckoning, the acknowledgement, the being honest with oneself about like what we're carrying and letting it go. So that could be anything. That could be to do with family stuff. That's a conversation I was having today with someone dear to me about stuff in my family line that I feel held back by or weighed down by. There's a burden there. So look at the burdens that you're carrying and clear them. It's time to do clearing. I want to say like space clearing is really important. So if you're challenged by this, sometimes actually getting out of our like emotional, mental, spiritual selves and actually getting into the physical reality can be like this powerful like reverse engineering exercise. So I'm looking at these swords being like, what's the energetic clearing that we can be doing? So obviously we can be doing this from like we can be doing the journaling and the self-reflection and the kind of seeking beautiful healers to help us move energy and cleanse and that kind of thing. We can be doing cleansing ceremonies for ourselves with smoke or with water. But I'm like, there is water in this card, so water could be really useful, using water to cleanse, salt water especially. But what I'm seeing is actually moving space, like if in your physical reality, in your physical space, looking for stuff that can be thrown out, looking for stuff that doesn't belong in your space anymore, and literally picking it up and feeling the weight and dropping it down and relieving yourself of that weight, releasing it, like letting it go. That's a very powerful practice this year, to actually transform our spaces, to remove junk, to remove density. That's what these swords represent to me. They're actually incredibly heavy. They're heavy and they're sharp, and they don't serve us when they're like this, right? It's time to actually like clear that out of our space. So we can be doing that symbolically through all these different energetic cleansing practices for our spiritual selves, as a cleansing, as a healing process, as a clearing process. We can be asking our guides to help do that. You know, like I said, water and smoke are a wonderful way to do that. Sound as well is very powerful. Sound could be useful too. That is part of the sword's energy, using our voice. So whether that's light language, sound healing, whether that's singing, chanting, whatever it might be, that can be very cleansing to move energy if you're setting that intention to move energy through the sound. But I keep seeing like, pick that shit up and take it out and get rid of it. Like clear your space, clear your home space, clear your garden space, clear your desk space. And then there's going to be more space in your physical reality to help you work on that, the stuff that's inside your field. So we can work on this and still feel confronted what's outside of us. We can also work on what's outside of us and help that mirror into us what we're actually seeking. Whew. So yeah, very easy keyword here. It's clearing. We're clearing out. We're cleaning. We're clearing. Okay, that is a pretty powerful set of cards. That's pretty exciting, honestly. I feel really like happy with that. I'm not one that's afraid of any tarot card. They all hold so much power. So I didn't see anything like, as you know, there's negative and positive to everything, but we've done so much hard work that nothing here is scaring me at all, which is really cool. And to have that beautiful blessing card at the very beginning. We've got 2 10s here as well, which is amazing. We're really moving into a new chapter. We're moving into a new time, a new era, which is really cool and exciting. And there's going to be space there and there's going to be blessings there. So it's a powerful time, guys. Okay, more comments here. Taku, thank goodness. Since the start of the year, I've been saying, who says I have to be like that? Who made these rules up? Questioning every status quo because everyone said so. I've loved your messages. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. That's it. That's the power of all of the cards, really, but especially, you know, the 10 of Swords. Your spirit knows what's true for you. Everyone's truth is completely unique. No one can tell you what's true, regardless of what facts exist. It's, you know what's true. You feel that within you. That's what your intuition guides you to. So it's really anchoring into that inner truth and honoring yourself, honoring your own inner truth is really important, really powerful. And you're going to feel much stronger in your ability to do that this year, which is really, really exciting. Okay, I've been talking for a while, so if there's any questions, I probably will want to do a really like a tarot party in a couple of weeks maybe, where I'll come on for an hour or two and I'll do some card readings. I haven't done that in such a long time, and I might even do a giveaway or two with some tarot readings. I'd actually also love to do, if you'd like a personal 2024 tarot reading, send me a message and we can book one in. Doing a special $99. That will be over video call, and we can do it live together. And I can pull your 4 cards for the year personal to you. And a beautiful archetypal power card as the 5th card as well. Okay. I can't see any more comments, so I might leave it there, guys. I'm going to take a bit of time to reflect on this, and I'll probably put some content together about each of these cards that I'll roll out on my account. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I look forward to connecting with you all more frequently this year. Yeah. If you want to hear more from me, I have a podcast. It's called The Initiates. It's been on a little bit of a hiatus over the past 6 months or so. However, it's going to be coming back with new episodes soon, but there's lots of old episodes you can listen to, all about the energy, but more so spiritual lessons, basically. It's a lot I love to explore. It's a spirituality podcast, and it's all about lessons. So yeah, go check that out. Links are all in my bio. And stay tuned to my account. I'll be posting more events soon, and opening up my readings again, because I have been offline. I haven't been offering readings in the past year, one-on-one readings, but they'll be opening up very soon. So stay tuned. And if you would like a 2024 personal reading for your energy report, then hit me up in the DMs. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, whether you've been live or whether you're watching the replay. Lots of love to you all, and the highest blessings for this year. Take this amazing card. Take that energy into this year. It's going to be great. Blessings for us all. Okay.
Well, that is it. I hope you enjoyed the energy for 2024 and that you find it useful and empowering and exciting. I definitely did. It was a real vibe bringing this message through for you all. So thank you for allowing me to do that and receiving this message. Also, if you like this live stream replay and you would like to be a part of them in future, I'm going to be returning now to, at the very least, monthly, maybe even fortnightly tarot live streams on my Instagram account at Crystal Aura Tarot. So do go and follow me there and stay up to date with my events. I'll always post them on my feed in the lead up so that you can get notifications when I go live. So pop on over. I'll put the link to my Instagram account in the show notes as well. And these are usually in Australian time zone. So another thing you can do is jump onto my YouTube page at Crystal Aura Tarot, because I usually post the replays from Instagram over there, because we all know it is not much fun watching hour-long replays of live streams on Instagram. It's much easier on YouTube. So chuck me some follows, as we say in Australia, and I look forward to seeing you in the field. And if you enjoy this reading, let me know. Send me an Instagram message or a comment on the replay link, or send me an email. I would love to hear from you and to hear how this reading resonates with you. I've already received a lot of feedback about how relevant and useful the messages from this 2024 reading have been for many people. So I would love to hear from you if it hits you in any particular way. Thanks again for joining me, and I look forward to sharing space with you in the next episode. Till then, peace and love, my friends.